Be me, 22, professional basement dweller, and disappointment to my ancestors. Wait, hold up. Before we start this absolute disaster of a story, let me address you, beautiful degenerates, directly. Yes, you, sitting there in your crusty gaming chair at 3 a.m., reading Greentext instead of getting your life together. This story is absolutely real and not fake and gay, like 90% of the shit posted here. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled autism. Living in my mom's basement because rent is a capitalist conspiracy designed to keep us from achieving our dreams of doing nothing. Setup is peak NEET paradise. Multiple monitors, Nintendo Switch docked for Smash sessions, mini fridge full of Mountain Dew, body pillow of my waifu Rem from ReZero. Speaking of Rem, she's best girl, and if you disagree, you have objectively terrible taste, fight me. Anyway, one night I'm trying to sleep after a 16-hour gaming session and a particularly intense gooning session to some quality Overwatch SFM. Don't judge me. Widowmaker. Animations are peak artistry. Hear this weird scratching noise above me. Sounds like something crawling through the air vents. Probably just mice or my crippling anxiety manifesting as auditory hallucinations. Ignore it and try to sleep. Next morning, wake up and my emergency tendy stash is missing. We're talking a full 20-piece from KFC, just gone without a trace. Ask Mom if she took them and she looks at me like I'm speaking ancient Sumerian. Honey, I bought those yesterday. How are they already gone? Thanks, Mom. Really helpful detective work there. A few days later, notice my computer has been acting weird. Browser history shows someone was looking up how to pick locks and is it legal to live in someone's attic? What kind of psychopath Googles whether breaking and entering is legal? Also, someone changed my desktop wallpaper from Rem to some random anime girl I don't even recognize. This is basically a war crime in my book. Start setting up a camera to catch whatever degenerates are breaking into my sacred NEET cave. But here's where it gets weird. Anons. And I know you're thinking weirder than a grown man living in his mom's basement, obsessing over cartoon girls. Yes, significantly weirder. Catch footage of this girl, probably early 20s, crawling through my air vent like some kind of discount solid snake. She's maybe 4'9" on a good day, absolute womanlet status, wearing what looks like the same clothes for multiple days and has that distinctive NEET pallor that only comes from avoiding sunlight for months. But here's the thing, Anons. Despite being a literal vent goblin, she's actually pretty cute, like dangerously cute, in that don't stick your dick in crazy way. Watch in horror as she methodically steals my tendies, uses my computer, and then just sits there watching me sleep for like 2 hours. Not in a sexy way either, more like a scientist observing a particularly stupid lab rat. Oh, and get this. She talks to herself the entire time. Look at this pathetic weeb, she says while stealing my food. Rem isn't even best girl. Emilia is clearly superior. Excuse me? What the actual hell? This random vent goblin is not only stealing my tendies, but also has objectively wrong opinions about best girls. This is the most personally offensive home invasion in human history. But wait, it gets worse. She boots up my Switch and starts playing my Smash Bros, changes all my main characters to random scrubs, deletes my save file for Breath of the Wild, actual acts of sabotage happening in my own basement. Then she goes through my Spotify playlist. What is this garbage? She says, looking at my carefully curated weeb music collection. Starts judging my taste in anime openings and Vocaloid songs. You have the musical taste of a 14-year-old who just discovered Nightcore. Changes my playlist and puts on Bury the Light. Now I am motivated, she says with this smug grin. I hate that she has better taste than me. Then she opens my carefully organized hentai folder, starts judging my taste out loud. This guy's really into buff TF2 characters, she mutters. At least he has decent taste in oily mercenaries. I'm laying there pretending to sleep while she critiques my gooning material, most awkward moment of my entire existence. She finds my secret stash that includes some questionable stuff like prison school. Oh God, he's into this trash, she says. The audacity, like you're literally living in my vents, eating my food, judging my degeneracy. Try to confront her the next night by staying awake. Pretend to be asleep when she crawls down from the vent. She goes straight for my computer and starts typing. Changes my waifu wallpaper again, this time to some girl from an anime I've never even heard of. Writes a negative review of ReZero on my anime list account. Calls Rem boring and one-dimensional in the review. I'm laying there having an internal breakdown because this is literally character assassination. She finishes destroying my online reputation and then walks over to where I'm sleeping. I know you're awake, dummy. Oh shit, she's on to me. Open my eyes and we just stare at each other for the most awkward 30 seconds of my life. Up close, she's even cuter than I thought, which makes this situation infinitely more confusing. My degenerate brain starts short-circuiting because cute girl plus proximity equals instant spaghetti mode. Who the hell are you, and why are you living in my vents? I ask, trying to sound intimidating but probably sounding like a squeaky toy. I'm Maya, and technically I'm living in your mom's vents, she replies with this smug little smirk. Your mom's house has really good Wi-Fi and her grocery deliveries always include enough food for 2 people. Also, your gaming setup is pretty decent for a normie. Normie? The audacity. This 4'9" vent-dwelling woman just called me a normie. How long have you been living up there? About 3 months, ever since my parents kicked me out for dropping out of college. Explains that she's been vent hopping between different houses in the neighborhood. Mine just happened to have the best internet and the most gullible occupants. Wait, so you've been stealing my tendies for 3 months? Borrowing, she corrects. I always leave you some. This is the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals maybe ever. And you've been using my computer to shit-talk my waifu? Your taste in anime girls is objectively terrible, and someone needed to tell you. We're having this entire conversation while she's standing in my basement at 2 a.m., covered in dust from crawling through air vents. Somehow this is not the weirdest interaction I've had this year. Also, she continues with that same smug expression, I've been recording everything you do down here. Pulls out a small camera from her pocket. 3 months of footage, including your daily gooning sessions to Overwatch SFM. My face goes red faster than a communist revolution. You've been what? Recording you, obviously. How else do you think I knew about your Boku no Pico collection? This tiny womanlet has been running surveillance on my most private moments. So what happens now? I ask, dreading the answer. Well, you could call the cops, she says, but then you'd have to explain to them why a grown man is this upset about cartoon girl rankings. Plus, I'd have to show them all this footage of your activities. She makes a fair point. Plus, the police would probably judge my living situation, which is already fragile enough. Or, she continues, we could work out some kind of arrangement. What kind of arrangement? I continue living in the vents, but I'll stop messing with your computer and only take half your tendies. And in exchange, I'll teach you about actually good anime instead of the mainstream garbage you're watching. Oh, and I keep the footage as insurance in case you try to rat me out. This is either the best or worst deal I've ever been offered. On one hand, free anime recommendations from someone with questionable taste. On the other hand, she's literally blackmailing me with footage of my most shameful moments. This doesn't make any sense, I say. Like none of this situation makes logical sense. She looks at me like I'm the biggest idiot alive. Duh, we're in a Greentext story, she says matter-of-factly. Logic isn't exactly the priority here. Wait, what the hell did she just say? Did this tiny vent goblin just break the fourth wall? Anons, are you hearing this shit? She's aware that we're in a story. What kind of meta bullshit is happening right now? Deal, I say, because my social skills are apparently non-existent, and also because she's cute enough that my brain has stopped functioning properly. Her being a 4'9" womanlet. That somehow makes the whole situation less threatening and more adorable, which is probably not the healthy response, but here we are. And that's how I ended up with a female NEET roommate who lives in my ceiling and has blackmail material on me. She still steals my tendies regularly, but now she asked permission first. Her anime recommendations are actually pretty good, even though her waifu opinions are garbage. Sometimes we play co-op games on the Switch, though she has to use the Pro controller because her tiny womanlet hands can barely hold the Joy-Cons properly. Watching her struggle with the controller while maintaining her smug attitude is honestly pretty endearing. She's made it very clear that my lifestyle is impressively pathetic even by NEET standards, which is honestly fair criticism coming from someone who lives in air vents. Mom still doesn't know there's someone living in the vents. Well, that was until yesterday when she walked downstairs and saw Maya sitting at my computer. Oh, honey, did you bring home a homeless girl? Mom asks in that concerned parent voice. Maya looks offended. I'm not homeless. I'm a nomadic vent dweller. Mom just stares at both of us trying to process this information. She's helping me with my anime homework. I lie badly. Mom decides she doesn't want to understand and just brings down extra sandwiches. Probably for the best, since explaining this situation would require more emotional intelligence than either of us possess. Maya occasionally threatens to show the footage to Mom if I don't share my good hentai. The Overwatch SFM stuff is actually pretty quality, she admitted once while going through my collection. Widowmaker has some really well-animated scenes. Never thought I'd bond with someone over animated game character corn. But life is full of surprises. She's also surprisingly good at Smash Bros despite her tiny hands. Kicks my ass regularly with Pikachu, which is both impressive and humiliating. Your fundamentals are garbage, she says while comboing me to death. This coming from someone who weighs maybe 90 pounds soaking wet. Sometimes catch myself staring at her while she's gaming. She's actually really cute when she's concentrating. Those moments when she bites her lip while trying to land a difficult combo. Wait, am I developing feelings for my blackmailing vent goblin roommate? This is either character development or Stockholm Syndrome, probably both knowing my luck. Anyway, that's my story about how I accidentally became roommates with a vent-dwelling anime critic who has compromising footage of me, still better than paying actual rent. To be honest. Plus, she's teaching me about better hentai artists, which is honestly valuable life skills. My face when I'm living rent-free, and so is my unwanted vent goblin roommate, who could destroy my life at any moment. Modern problems require modern solutions, I guess. Wait, shit, I just realized something while writing this. If you Anons are reading this story about my vent-dwelling roommate, and she sometimes uses my computer when I'm asleep, there's a non-zero chance she's reading this right now. Maya, if you're reading this, Rem is still best girl, and your opinions are still trash. Also, please stop using my shampoo. That shit is expensive, and your vent dust is clogging the drain. Oh, and maybe don't show anyone that footage of me crying during the metamorphosis ending. That was a moment of weakness and doesn't represent my true character. Anyway, Anons, hope you enjoyed this. Totally real and not fabricated tale of basement-dwelling romance, or whatever the hell this weird blackmail situation qualifies as. Time to go check if my tendies are still there, or if my woman-let vent goblin struck again. Honestly, might just buy extra tendies at this point. Sharing food with a cute girl is basically dating, right? Even if she's technically squatting in my ceiling and extorting me. My standards have clearly hit rock bottom, but at least the view is nice. Be me, 20, college student, majoring in computer science because I'm basic like that. Working part-time at Best Buy because my parents think having a job builds character. Mostly just stand around explaining why people can't return, open software and pretend to know about TVs. Life is pretty boring until this girl Claire starts working there. She's like a solid 8 out of 10, way out of my league, but somehow always ends up on the same shifts as me. Blonde hair, perfect makeup, even at 7 a.m., always wearing crop tops that probably violate dress code. Typical Stacy, but she actually talks to me, which is confusing because hot girls usually pretend I don't exist. First week, she's super friendly, asks about my hobbies, and actually seems interested in my answers. Tells me I'm really smart and mature compared to other guys our age. My lonely brain starts thinking maybe I have a chance with this goddess. Second week. She starts doing this thing where she stands really close when we're talking, like uncomfortably close where I can smell her perfume and feel her breathing. Keeps touching my arm when she laughs at my terrible jokes. Starts calling me cute nicknames like genius and my favorite nerd. Every conversation feels like flirting, but I can't tell if she's actually into me or just being nice. Third week. She escalates the physical contact. Starts giving me these long hugs when she sees me, sits next to me during breaks, even when there are other empty chairs. One time she literally sits on my lap for like 5 seconds, claiming there's nowhere else to sit. My virgin brain can't handle this level of female attention. Start having dreams about her and checking the work schedule, obsessively. Fourth week, she drops the bomb. You know, she says while playing with her hair, I've been watching these psychology videos on TikTok. Tells me about this thing called love bombing, where you shower someone with attention to make them dependent. Explains how mirroring someone's interests makes them feel connected to you. Describes something called intermittent reinforcement, where you give random rewards to keep people hooked. It's like training a dog, she says with this weird smile. My autism brain starts connecting dots. I don't want to connect. Realize she's been doing all of these things to me for the past month. The compliments, the touching, the fake interest in my hobbies. She's literally been running psychological experiments on me like I'm a lab rat. Why are you telling me this? I ask, genuinely confused. Because now I need you to do me a favor, she says. Turns out she's been dating this guy Marcus from our store for 6 months. He's one of those confident douchebag types who sells more phones than anyone else. Apparently he's been flirting with other girls and she wants to make him jealous. I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend for a few days, she explains, just until Marcus realizes what he's losing. My brain short circuits trying to process this information. She's been manipulating me for a month just to set up this fake relationship scheme. What's in it for me? I ask, trying to sound less desperate than I feel. Well, she says, moving closer again, you get to tell people you're dating me. Plus, I'll keep being affectionate with you. Just make it look real. The offer is tempting because dating Claire would boost my social status to levels I never thought possible. But also the whole thing feels gross and manipulative. Agree anyway, because apparently I have no self-respect. Next few days are the weirdest of my life. Claire holds my hand at work, sits with me at lunch, calls me baby in front of everyone. Other guys start looking at me with confusion and jealousy. Marcus definitely notices and starts acting territorial around Claire. The fake relationship feels surprisingly real, even though I know it's all an act. Claire is actually good at pretending to care about my interests, starts asking detailed questions about my programming projects and gaming setup, compliments my clothes even though I basically wear the same outfit every day. For a brief moment, I let myself believe maybe she actually likes me. Then I overhear her talking to her friend Jessica in the break room. He's so easy to manipulate, Claire says. Like he actually thinks I care about his stupid computer games. The psychology stuff really works. He does whatever I want now. Marcus is totally jealous. I think he's going to ask me to be exclusive soon. Hearing this hits harder than I expected. Realize I've been getting emotionally attached to someone who sees me as a useful tool. The fake affection felt real to me even though it meant nothing to her. Decide I need to end this before I get more hurt. Approach Claire the next day and tell her I can't do the fake dating thing anymore. Why not? She asks. I thought you were having fun. Explain that it's messing with my head and I don't want to be used anymore. She gets this annoyed expression like I'm being unreasonable. You're being way too sensitive, she says. It's just pretend. Plus you're getting something out of it too. Everyone thinks you're dating me. The fact that she doesn't understand why this bothers me makes it worse. Tell her I'm done and walk away. She tries the manipulation tactics one more time. Starts being extra sweet, touching my arm, calling me genius. Come on, just a few more days, she pleads. Marcus is so close to committing, you'd really be helping me out. Resist the urge to fall for it again, because I finally see the pattern. Every compliment is calculated, every touch is strategic. She's not actually attracted to me, she's just good at pushing my buttons. Next week, Marcus asks Claire to be his girlfriend officially. She gets what she wanted and immediately stops acknowledging my existence. No more nicknames, no more touching, barely makes eye contact. Goes back to treating me like furniture, which honestly hurts more than expected. Realize I was never a person to her, just a tool she used to get what she wanted. Start paying attention to how she interacts with other guys. Notice she does the same thing with different people, depending on what she needs. Ask the muscular guy in mobile to help her move furniture while complimenting his strength. Gets the shift supervisor to change her schedule by acting helpless and grateful. Uses the same psychology tricks on everyone, but customizes them based on what motivates each person. Feels stupid for thinking I was special when she was just following a playbook. Couple weeks later, she tries to recruit me for another scheme. Hey, genius, she says with that familiar fake sweetness. Can you help me with something? Wants me to help her cheat on a test by hacking the school's online system. Apparently she thinks I'm some kind of computer wizard because I study programming. I'll make it worth your while, she says with a wink. Shut her down immediately and tell her to find someone else. She gets genuinely angry when the manipulation doesn't work. You used to be so helpful, she complains. What happened to you? Explain that I learned to recognize when someone is trying to use me. She calls me paranoid and dramatic before walking away. A few months later, Claire gets fired for stealing from the register. Apparently, she thought she was too smart to get caught. Turns out being good at manipulating people doesn't make you good at everything. Hear through workplace gossip that Marcus dumped her after he caught her cheating. She tried to manipulate her way out of it, but he wasn't buying her excuses. Can't say I feel bad for her after what she put me through. Experience taught me to recognize red flags and how people treat others. Now when someone seems too interested too quickly, I get suspicious. Learn that genuine interest feels different from calculated manipulation. Also learned that TikTok psychology is apparently a real thing people use. Made me realize how many interactions might be. People trying to influence each other. Started reading actual psychology books instead of just accepting surface-level explanations. Turns out, understanding manipulation tactics helps you defend against them. Work became less stressful once Claire was gone. No more wondering if someone actually likes me or just wants something. Developed better boundaries about what kind of treatment I'll accept from people. Still work at Best Buy, but now I'm suspicious of overly friendly coworkers, especially ones who seem to know exactly what to say to make me feel special. That feel when you realize someone's been treating you like a side quest in their main character story. My face when I learned that some people study psychology specifically to manipulate others. At least I got some decent stories out of the whole experience. And I never have to wonder what it would be like to date a manipulative Stacy. Spoiler alert. It's emotionally exhausting, even when you know it's fake.